Good afternoon. Um, so today I just wanted to talk about something that is incredibly frustrating to me, and there's probably going to be some personal trainers out here that don't really like what I have to say, but having been a personal trainer myself for the last 5 years and now coaching hundreds of women with weight loss, as well as my own, 85 pounds of weight loss and then gain and loss and gain. I am here to shed some really good news for a lot of people who are afraid of starting a fitness routine for many reasons, but mainly because we get told that we have to, hit it really hard consistently, like you got to kill yourself in the gym in order to see any sort of fitness results or whatever. And then I know, because I was a personal trainer and I've done this different ways myself, as well as had different clients do it different ways. The, kicking your ass right in the beginning and, really making it so that you can't really, so this hurts the next day and it's hard to walk and all of those things is absolutely not necessary and not advised. So this is not, so for me personally, I have a really bad back, I have joint issues, and I've got, I have a lot of joint issues. And then I also have an arthritis spur in my neck, and I have a lot of different things. And so I know when I had to cut down on my own personal activity, that I was able to maintain my muscle mass with very little effort. I could do, just mild workouts and maintain my muscle mass. And then when I needed to build my muscle back up, I could go a little bit harder or, whatever in order to get my muscle mass up more. So I've been in all different areas. I've been completely to where I had no muscle mass at all and was debilitated about 8 years ago and unable to get out of bed without pain in the morning. It was very debilitating. And I had to start with Pilates. I did mat work for the first 8 months of my weight loss. And I wasn't even, I wanted to lose weight, but that wasn't why I did it. I did it because I learned that the Pilates took my back pain and my headaches away. So I started doing it for that reason. And then as my strength gradually started improving, I started kind of getting excited about it and being like, oh, I am capable of doing whatever I want. And that's what led to, my sprint try and my different races I ran and all of the different things that I did. When I was debilitated, I would have never said that was possible for me. And I would have never joined a gym at that point where I was at, because I knew that it was going to be too hard from the level that I was at to get there. So when I did finally join the gym, my trainers I didn't have the very best trainers. I can say now, looking back, they were very into low calories, low fat, low calorie foods, very, very low carb diets. Everything was very restrictive and sort of, make you feel guilty if you slip off at all, and all of these things that are just now, I know are just it's not necessary. So I coach women now. And if you don't know me, my name is Jeray Pearson, and I'm a life transformation coach and health and wellness coach as well. And, now the way that I coach is happiness based. Now I tell them, I tell women, it's not always going to be fun, but it should not make you feel like worse you should not feel worse about yourself, because, you shouldn't join a gym and then start beating yourself up every time you miss a workout or every time that you slip up or whatever. It doesn't have to be this way. And so I just want, don't let your ideas about what, your expectations about joining a gym or whatever, don't let that stop you. The thing is, you have to find what's right for you and realize that there are so many options out there for you. It's not always one size fits all. You don't have to go and join CrossFit or a Spartan gym or, anything really hardcore. You can do some classes, do some yoga classes to get your body moving. And I promise, just doing a low impact, if you're right now not in very good shape at all, just a yoga class, doing a very mild, like hatha yoga, is going to you're still going to be sore. You're still going to be increasing your muscle mass. And so it's okay to take baby steps with your muscle gain. So when injuries, in the beginning, it's very, very common. And I saw this as a trainer a lot. In the beginning of any fitness routine, people get injured frequently. And the reason behind this is so being sore in your muscles is caused by little tiny muscle fibers tearing, and then your body sends signals to rebuild that area, right? To rebuild that muscle and make it stronger so that next time you go through that, you can endure it and you can push yourself a little bit harder. So it doesn't take very much of that to be increasing your muscle. It's a very small amount. For somebody who's inactive, you can go in, do a little bit of yoga 3 times a week, and that's good enough. I was a boot camp teacher, and I was anybody who, I don't know if any of my clients are on right now, but say hi if you're here. I'd love to see who's on here. But any of my clients will tell you that I was so guarded with my clients. I was really afraid of anybody getting injured because it's so common in the beginning, especially. And so, form is so super important, and going slow and not doing all the high impact stuff right off the bat. Because if your joints don't have the strength, you've got a joint here and it doesn't have the strength, it's going to be your joints are going to be slipping out, right? It's pretty common sense, but this isn't something that a lot of trainers explain to people right in the beginning. If your form is off, if you have a joint like this and your form is off slightly and that bone is rubbing wrong, you're going to have friction there. You're going to have, stress and inflammation in those areas that you shouldn't have already. And so, slow is good. Think of it like the tortoise and the hare, right? Just keep momentum. Just do something. Just continue to get a little bit better, but start at the beginning. Don't start where somebody 4 weeks in is at. You don't want to just jump right in and be going too heavy and too fast and too much, especially if you're, I'm turning 40. So the older we get, the more important this even is to really go slow in the beginning. Our bodies, we need our joints all the way through our life. So if it feels too much, then it probably is. And you have to realize that a lot of personal trainers are trying to get results because that's how they get clients. And the way that you can get really good results is by pushing people slightly too far. So, you have to listen to your own intuition, whether you're working with a professional or not, and take the lead role in that. And if you ever have, I made the mistake, I had a coach, a trainer I didn't know very well who was kind of subbing for another coach at one point. And I didn't have my voice. And even though I have 7 years of college background, pre-med, and, have done all the physiology, anatomy and physiology stuff, I still was letting him tell me what size weights to use, what to do, and trusting him, and getting injured because of it. And then I kicked myself because I was like, gosh, I should have just told him that I couldn't do that was out of my, whatever. Another thing is you have to recover. When you're just starting out on a fitness routine, you cannot go at it 7 days a week. You have to take rest days, because if you are putting a lot of, you're putting a lot of strenuous activity on your muscles, if you do not let them repair, then the next time you try and do that, something's going to snap, or something's going to you're going to pull a muscle, right? Or something's going to snap. And this the letting your body repair itself between your workouts is also just as important. So slow and steady in the beginning. Don't feel that you're not doing enough. If you're doing something when before you were doing nothing, then that's an improvement, and you should pat yourself on the back for that. So don't let anybody else, like if you have friends that are super into fitness and are like, you got to do this program with me, but you just don't feel comfortable with it, start at home. It doesn't have to be any major thing in the beginning. So I'm just stressing this a lot because this time of year, we all set these goals for ourselves and we all want to do really well. We want to do really good things for ourselves, and we have really good intentions. But a lot of the time, we aren't listening to our own bodies and we're going a little bit too far. So once you injure a joint, you're going to have scar tissue there forever, right? So you think about these things. Think about that, it might be a little bit better to go a little bit slower and not injure yourself. Also, how frustrating is it when you start a fitness routine and you're really going on it and you're proud of yourself and then you get hurt and you're out for 9 weeks? I've had this happen to myself, and I've seen this happen over and over again with clients. And it's not just frustrating. I mean, it's beyond frustrating. It gets to be kind of depressing because you have goals for yourself that you want to set. So let's be able to accomplish our goals by starting a little bit slower and not getting ahead of ourselves. Having said that, though, and being someone who has accomplished really amazing fitness things that I never thought I would be able to accomplish, that is extremely rewarding. But it comes naturally over time to where you want to, at first, I guess if I would have had somebody tell me, 6 months from now, you're going to be able to do all of these things, whether or not you kill yourself right in the beginning. I probably would have slowed down and saved myself some injuries and a lot of financial struggle and all of that. So we can do more than we think we can. So if you are in the beginning, you're starting out very slow, be paying attention to when you can push yourself a little bit more as well. So, don't baby yourself because you're so afraid. So realize that you can typically push yourself a little bit harder than you think that you can. Our mind kind of tells us to stop a little bit early. And so I always tell, like when we're doing reps, I always would tell my clients, when you feel like you're done, do 2 more, right? So, you still have to be pushing yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but just not to the point where you're causing injury and that sort of thing. So, all right. So off my soapbox, that's just my, I know we're all going to be starting some programs coming up in January, and I don't want anybody going out there and hurting themselves and making it even worse so that next year we're 20, 30 pounds heavier and trying it all over again. Be realistic with yourself. I have got my academy coming up, so I no longer coach fitness, but I coach nutrition. I can do a lot through what I do, especially if you are just starting out, then some of my programs would be very beneficial. My academy starts January 8th. That's a 12-week intensive academy where we do hormone resets, and we do nutrition and habit forming and all sorts of different things on top of some of the mindset work with our nutrition. So we get down to the root of our habits and why we do the things we do, and our feelings and thoughts that are behind a lot of the things that we do, because that, I feel, is the most important thing when it comes to fitness, is our mindsets and that. So Clear the Cobwebs program is a mindset program just for nutrition and weight loss. That starts January 20th. I've got my January 8th academy starting, and then one-on-one coaching. So many different price points, no matter what you can afford. If you're ready to hire a coach and learn some simplified routines and things that can make it a little bit easier and sustainable for you, then I am here for you and can work around a lot of different price points. So the Academy, I'll drop some links down below so that if you guys do want to check out those programs, you can. And if not, jump into my group. I have a free group and a free program starting up the 1st of January. It's for women, you know, anybody who's probably seeing this, women over 40 or around there, who are, is it going to be setting up our whole year, setting up 2008 for successful weight loss and nutrition planning and routines. So that one is completely free, 5 days, and I'll be doing live video coaching in each of those and have some action steps for everybody to take. And that is so that if people don't, you know, no excuses, if we don't have money, we can at least do a free program, right? So that's why I'm doing this the first week of the year, offering, you know, my coaching for free to everybody who has told me that they can't afford it. So, so we don't want to leave anybody out because of finances. So, all right, you guys, so love you all so much. If you aren't already in my group, I will put that link first so that you can hop into the group, because I've got files uploaded in there and videos uploaded in there and all sorts of stuff that you can just dive right into. So, all right, I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you're having a wonderful week. My kids are finally all out on Christmas break, and so I got to sleep in this morning until like 8 o'clock and was super excited about that. And so it feels kind of like vacation for everybody. But all right, talk to you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll catch you back here.